Hello and greetings. Welcome to our third edition of our virtual Advent retreat. You've heard two different videos already offered by Creighton Prep during this Advent season. Today we reflect and review what this past weekend was about, inviting us into the Advent of our experience. As we review the week, Ignatius wants us to pay attention to what is it that gave us fruit. Each day, since Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, what are the moments of our lives that have fed us? And what are the moments of our prayer that have fed us? And sit with those things. Go to where there was fruit and sit with that fruit just to see if God might have more for us. My hope and desire here on this day is to review this past week's reading to say what has given us fruit so that it can feed us into this coming Sunday and the last week of Advent. What is it that has given us fruit? Well, the first two readings from last Sunday's Mass talked a lot about joy. And what is joy? As you think about joy and experience joy, how would you define it? How would you describe it? I heard somebody explain once that if you take the first letters, each of the letters of the word joy, it might stand for Jesus, others, and yourself. So as you behave, as you reflect on your life, as you make choices, do you go just with what you want, or do you share with your thoughts and ideas, what might Jesus desire for my life? And then how can what I'm about to do affect and maybe enhance the lives of others? And then thirdly, I would think about, well, how does it affect or engage my life? J-O-Y, Jesus, others, and yourself. It reminds me of a way of thinking that Pope Francis invited us to do. When you do petitions, when you pray for other people, maybe use your hand. And as you use each of the digits of your hand, think about the people that have affected and enhanced your life. And that in doing that, you bring joy to others and to yourself. So first of all, you think about the thumb. And the thumb is the closest to me. So I think about the people who are close to me. My mom, my siblings, my family, the people I work with, the people I encounter, my good friends. Those would be people who are closest to me and have had that kind of influence on my life. And then I think about the next finger, the index finger, the finger that we use to point with. So who are the people that have pointed me in a good direction, who have pointed me to Christ? I think about the pastors in the parish where I was growing up. I think about good teachers and mentors. I think about friends who I go to because I hold them in high esteem, and maybe they would be people to guide me when I have to make a tough decision or even the easy decisions. Who are the people that point me in a good direction? When I think about the tallest of the fingers, I want to think about the leaders in our community, leaders in our world. First of all, the leader of the church, then maybe leaders of different nations and countries around the world, maybe even leaders of my own nation, leaders of my state, leaders of my local community. Who are the leaders in my parish, in my archdiocese? Who are the leaders in my household, in my family, and down to what are the leadership qualities that I'm invited to or that I possess? And praying and asking God to encourage me and us and all the leaders to lead with justice for peace. After the tallest of the fingers, we come to the ring finger, which is reflected upon as being a weak finger. We don't really use that finger for much, and so this ring finger, the weakest of the fingers, help me remember those for whom life is hard, Maybe they've experienced an illness, or maybe they're going through surgery or some kind of a virus. Maybe they're homeless or hungry. Who are the weak and the poor? Maybe not just from my nation or locality, but different parts of the world. People who are struggling with natural disasters or just with life because they don't have what they need. Praying for them. And then last, I come to the smallest of the fingers. So humbly, I come to myself. What are my needs? Humbly, I ask the Lord to fill me with happiness today, with joy today. Help me to see the struggles that I have as things that are helping me move closer to God's love for me. During this Advent season, I want to grow a little bit in humility. So this helps me put other people first. The word joy helps me put Jesus and others first before myself. Little bit of humility there to help me remember that God has given me all so that I can share with others. That's the goal. That's the invite. Our God, gave us only Son so that those who believe can have life to the full, everlasting life. Is that something you want? It's certainly something I want. And because of that desire and hope, I want to see it every day. I want to share it every day. And really what that does for me is that it's an invitation to be passionate. To be passionate about my choices. To be passionate about my life. A week ago, we had the experience of the Immaculate Conception of the Blessed Virgin Mary. When we think about her choice and her yes to God, it wasn't a whim. It wasn't off the top of her head. She said yes from the depths of her being. Even this week with John the Baptist saying yes from the depths of his being, says, it's not about me. There's one coming after me who will guide you in ways I never imagined. In this season of Advent, we reflect upon John the Baptist as a precursor, as a pointer, as one who sends us forth to be full of joy and hope in the world. There's one coming after me that I want to follow too, that I'm not worthy to untie the straps of his sandals. How is Jesus alive in your life? How are you aware of his presence, his strength, his courage as you walk through your life leading up to Christmas? Yeah, I know that consumerism is really full and we have a lot of choices about things, but do you have the courage to say it's more about who I am for the good of others? It's more about relationship than it is about things. What can I do to build relationship for my family and friends? What can I do to build relationship for those I love and those I care about? How about those I've never heard of? Those that I've never experienced? How do we build relationships that are right with God in all of those characteristics? As we prepare ourselves and move closer to the greatness of God, we want to do more. Jesuit spirituality invites us to think about the word magis. Magis is just a word that means more. But Ignatius doesn't want us to think about doing more stuff. Ignatius wants us to reflect upon doing the things that we do more well. With my apologies for all of you who speak English, because that's really bad English. It's not about doing more stuff, but it's about paying attention to what I do for the good of others, for the good of the world. I want to be excellent. I want to be excellent in bringing Christ's love to everybody, to each. And so, therefore, bringing Christ's love into the world as Jesus is about to come, as we celebrate his birth in the next weeks. May this week of Advent fill you with joy. I hope you remember how much joy is in your life. And may you continue to share that with everybody you love with everybody you meet. God bless.